Hello everyone, welcome back to our web technology paper. In the previous class, we have seen about the basic syntax and semantics of HTML elements. So we can have a quick recap on the previous topic, then we will move to today's topic. So in basic XHTML syntax and semantics, we have seen about document type declaration. So that says about what version of the HTML our web page has been designed. So there we have three flavors like strict DTD, a transitional DTD, then frame set. Then apart from that, document type declaration, we have seen about white space in character data. So the browser will treat all the white spaces like carriage return, line feed, tab, everything will be treated. All the extra white spaces will be trimmed and only a single space will be rendered by the browser. Then we have seen about how the browser responds when some of the elements or some attributes has been missed while designing the HTML page. Okay, so the browser will render whatever we missed, it will be rendered without any complaint. So there comes some little technical issues. That's what we have been moved to strict version of HTML is XHTML. Then we have seen about attributes also. Okay, so in today's class we are going to see the fundamental HTML elements, some of the fundamental HTML elements, and in the later class we will be going in deep about discussing the HTML elements like list, tables, forms, then frames. Okay, today we are going to have some of the fundamental HTML elements. Okay, so before that I think we have discussed about HTML element and HTML tag, and anyway we'll have a quick recap on what a HTML element is. So it is an individual component of a HTML document. It represents the semantics or meaning. It means if we have a HTML element called as body, so it says something about the body section, so that is said to be an HTML element. If that element is enclosed by the angle bracket, then we are saying that as a HTML tag. Okay, so here P stands for the paragraph. So it is something meaningful. This HTML element P is a paragraph element, and if it is enclosed by the angle bracket, we are saying as a tag. And in the tag we have start tag and end tag. So start tag will be simply enclosed with the angle bracket, where the end tag will have the forward slash. Okay, so and today we are going to see about some of the fundamental elements, HTML elements, then image element also. So this HTML list we will be discussing it in the next session. Okay, and now first and foremost HTML element is heading tags. I think those who have knowledge on HTML, you might have come across these heading tags. So heading tags it is used to provide the heading for any section, something like this. Okay, so it ranges from H1 to H6. Totally 6 heading tags are available. So it starts with the angle bracket H1 and it closes with close tag by forward slash H1. Okay, so if we specify any content within H1, means it will be bolded in this manner with a little bigger size. Then H2 will be similar to that one with little smaller in size. This is H2, H3, H4, H5 and H6. Okay, so this is said to be the heading tags. Okay, heading tags will all have closed tags. Okay, start tag will be H1, H2, H3 with by enclosing the angle bracket. Then this is the close tag of the heading element. And next is paragraph. Since we have discussed already the paragraph, we will have a little note on that. So paragraph is a block element, meaning that each block element will starts with a new line. Okay, so most of the browser will also place a line break and a blank line between the paragraphs. Okay, some of the we inside the paragraph we can have text, images or other inline elements can also be included inside the paragraph element. Okay, inline element means those are the elements which don't place a line break. Okay, so here the paragraph element may not it may not contain headings, list or sectioning elements because those are by default again the block elements. Okay, so inside the paragraph element you can have the inline elements. So here is a simple HTML page that demonstrate about the paragraph element. Inside the body section we have 3 paragraph which is defined like this, and when we render this page it will be rendered like this. Each and every paragraph will have a line break. Okay, this is about the paragraph element. And next is something about a pre-formatted text. As I said earlier, if there is a white space, if there is a white space between the sentence or a paragraph or n number of white space, everything will be trimmed and will be replaced as a single blank space. We have discussed in the earlier topic. But what if we need to preserve or retain those spaces? Means we could achieve that by means of the pre-formatted text element whose tag is pre. Okay, so and its close tag is /pre. So here inside the content whatever we have given, that space will be retained. So that is about pre-formatted text. And the content in this pre-formatted text will be displayed in monospace font. Monospace font means each and every character will be of fixed width. Okay, so it is non-proportional font. It means that this is the proportional font. It means so the character I it occupies the less space, whereas character n occupies the more space. Whereas monospace means each and every character will have the fixed width. I will take you to a little demo on this. So here here we have the HTML page. So this one you don't bother about, I made it as a comment. So we haven't touched this topic about comment. In the forthcoming slides we will be discussing about the HTML comments. Here now just concentrate this part alone in this HTML file. So pre-formatted tag, use this element too. Then I am taking this to the next line, preserve this, and I am giving few spaces, white space here, format. Then here there is one HTML element called as break. So break means it will bring the remaining section into the next line. So it will insert a line. So that's the purpose of BR HTML element. This is break element. Then followed by break works still. And we are closing the pre-formatted tag, and let's have a look on the output. So here is what the previous content, the paragraph and this is one more paragraph, 2 paragraphs, the output of this 2 line, and followed by this is the pre-formatted text element. So here whatever we have given, it is pre-formatted. The spaces are preserved here. Here I have given few white spaces, that is retained, and here also I have given few space that also retained by the browser. And after the format word I have given break. So break is used to give a line, it takes the remaining section to the new line. So this is the example for pre-formatted HTML element. And moving back to our next the example I have given again for pre-formatted, you can have a glance on this. And moving on to break, so BR, so it is an empty element. So here it is said to be BR is an empty element. Empty element means the element that is that don't have a close tag. So this there is only one open tag called as BR, that's it. It's optional to include the close tag also. Okay, so generally BR is an empty element. It means it doesn't have a close tag. it is mainly to give a line break. So in this paragraph we have given a break here. So when we render this line in the browser, so we will have an output something like this: so much depends in one line, then have a break. So it means it brings up the remaining part will be in the next line. So upon we have the two breaks. So we have two line break followed by a red wheel, then break. Okay, so line breaks are inserted at each so line breaks means it takes us to the new line. So wherever br is there, it takes us to the new lines. That's the purpose of br html element. Okay, and there are different ways of mentioning the empty elements. As I said, empty element is nothing but an element which has no closed tags. Okay, so you can include break simply as like the previous slide br, or we could include br one single space followed by the close tag immediately, like forward slash and close angle bracket. This way also we can represent in XHTML version. And since XHTML is a stricter version, every open tag must have a close tag. So there is nothing wrong in including something like this also, break then followed by the close tag. So in this manner also we can give, or we could give something like this, so the close tag immediately after that open tag, or we can simply prefer just open and close tag br. Okay, so as like we have seen, so in this way also we could give a break line, or in this manner, or we can go for open and close tag. So there are different ways of applying the empty elements. So image this is an HTML element that doesn't have close tag, so we could prefer this way, break, meta HTML element, hr horizontal rule element. So some of the empty elements, these are empty elements. And we have the span. So span mainly there are numerous ways to format our text. Formatting in the sense we can choose the font style, width, n number of ways are there to format our text. Here three choices have been given. So applying the style sheet technology to a span element. Span element is nothing but it's simply a wrapper for styling the a wrapper for styling some text content. I'll take you to a little demo in this. There are three ways of formatting our text. So one is by using the span. The other way in the second unit mainly you will be concentrating on css. Css is nothing but a style sheet technology, where we will be styling our web page in a separate technology called as css. Okay, cascading style sheet. So there we will be using n number of ways of styling our text content. Here simply using the span element also we can able to style this text element, or using the phrase element. So here phrase element is something like HTML element, strong, emphasis. So those are the phrase elements that also helpful to format our text. So this phrase element is more semantic. It means strong means it will be the enclosed content will be in the bold face. Okay, so then we could go for styling our text content using the font style element like this. These are some of the font style elements. B stands for bold, italic, and this is for monospace, TT. So this is for fixed width font is said to be the monospace. So TT stands for teletype. Big, small, so increased big in the sense increased font size, small is decreased font size. So I'll take you a little demo on that. See here. So earlier I commented out, I'm going to uncomment it. So we'll speak about the comment in the forthcoming slides. So here span is just simply a wrapper to style these text elements. So this is the this is the text content, make me italic. So I am going to make this three words italic using the span element. So how it is achieved means, so it uses one attribute called as a style. Style is equal to the attribute value is within the double quotes. What I am saying is font hyphen style colon italic. So while rendering this line, so make me italics will be converted into italic. Okay, this is one way of styling the text, and this is using the phrase element, as I said, strong emphasis, that is more semantic than bold italic. Okay, so that's what we are saying, this as more semantic, the phrase elements. So whatever is enclosed within the strong HTML element will be turned into boldface, and emphasis, that will be turned into italics. And this is again using the font style element, this is font style, and these two are phrase element, and this is about styling the text content using the span element. So here B stands for bold, I stands for italic. So let's have a look on this execution. I'll refresh it. I think I haven't saved it. Save, then refresh. See here, so make me italics. So all these are inline elements. Inline in the sense, so excuse me, it is taking me to another page. So here all the span, strong, emphasis, bold, these are all inline elements, means that so there no automatic line break will be provided. See here, so make me italics, that is made as these three words made as italics using the span style, and strong using the strong element, boldface is bolded, and emphasis again phrase element that helps to make this emphasis as italics. Then again the font HTML element B, that makes this two words bold. Okay, so this is a little about formatting our text content in the web page. And here comes two more HTML elements, HR and comment. Okay, so HR is a horizontal role, I think. So it is used to give a line. HR is again an empty element. It is used to introduce a horizontal line over here. I think it I don't know whether it's visible for you. So here there is a line attached, so because of HR in this example. So H3 element is there, then one paragraph followed by HR. So HR means horizontal rule, it will insert a horizontal line. Okay, and here comment. So comment, I think you will be all knowing it. So this is for user purpose only, to get knowledge on what's going on in their program. They can attach some document so that it will be much more readable for the developer, and this won't be parsed by the browser. Okay, this won't be considered for the execution, the commands. Okay, in HTML this is the way of giving the command. So open angle bracket, exclamation, hyphen hyphen, so followed by whatever the statement we need, and it should end with hyphen hyphen close angle bracket. So this is the single line command, and for multi-line also, so we need to use the same syntax. Okay, start with this tag, open angle bracket, exclamation, hyphen hyphen, and the command runs to multiple lines followed by close tag, hyphen hyphen, close angle bracket. So this is the way of commenting in HTML, whereas in other computer languages you might have come across double forward slash for single line comment, and slash star followed by multi-line comment, and close it by star slash. Okay, so whereas in HTML this is the way of commenting out some of the information. Okay, and this is the wrong way of giving the comment. In between we should not produce any hyphen like this, or we should not have more than two hyphens. Okay, so this is the wrong way of commenting out in HTML file. And talking about the attributes we have seen already, so it's a name value pairs. So the attribute syntax will be the tag HTML element name followed by name is equal to the value will be within the double quotations. One example we have seen already for image source, and we can have paragraph usually don't take any attributes, but we can style the paragraph in whatever the way we want using style sheet. So this part you will be learning in CSS. So here you are styling it by mentioning the class is equal to selected, then in a separate file in CSS. So for this selected you will be mentioning the styles, the color of the content or the size, font, name. So whatever the style you want, we can do it in a separate file using CSS. Okay, so this part we will be covering in the second unit. And anchor element, so anchor element is used to give the hyperlink, so which has the attribute href is equal to the link. It will take us so here click me to go to link. If I click here, it will take us to this hrefs location. And we have one more element called as a link. So to attach the external file to our main page, we can use this link. So this is the way of linking our style sheet to the page. Okay, this also in deep you will be studying in the client side scripting languages, okay, in your second unit. So these are said to be the attributes. Apart from the HTML element, these are the HTML elements: link, anchor, paragraph, image. So these are the HTML elements that goes with attribute and the attribute values. Name value pairs, a name has the value, so source equal to some image name, and here href is equal to some link. Okay, so these are said to be the attributes in the HTML, and the attributes should be enclosed within double quotation. And in detail about the image element with some more attributes. In the previous section we have seen about image containing two attributes, source and the alternate. Okay, alternate is nothing but to display this content in case if the browser is not able to render this image. And apart from that attribute, we can mention the image height, width in terms of pixels. Px stands for pixels, 120 pixels. Width and style is equal to float right. So we could place our image either in the right side or the left side using this float right. Float right means it will be floated in the right side. Left means the image will be placed in the left side. So these are some other attributes. Use map is also there. So use map is used as to make our image as a clickable image. Using this attribute we can make the displayed image to be clickable. If we click the image, it will take us to some other location. Okay, so for that purpose we will be using the use map. So this is all about the attributes for the HTML element image. And hyperlink. So hyperlink, as you all will be knowing, so so it will take us, if we click the link, it will take us to some other location. So that will be achieved by means of the HTML element EA tag. Okay, so EA is nothing but the anchor tag. So here this is the closing tag followed by the attribute href, and within the double quotation we need to mention the link. And if we click this content, the linked text is here outside this close open tag. If we click that content, it will take us to the href, whatever we have mentioned, it will take us to that location. And definitely an anchor tag must have a close tag. Okay, so the close tag is nothing but it should prefix the slash, forward slash. Apart from taking us to the different location, different web resources, we have one more way of mentioning the anchor tag. In a same page, it will take us to the different sections by using the destination anchor. So here, so far this example is for source anchor. So two categories are that anchor tags have two ends. One is the source anchor. So this is from link activated by href attribute, this one. And we have another way of anchor tag. So the destination anchor is the to link that will be activated by name attribute, or ID attribute is also there. I'll show you the demo for both. Okay, so this one destination anchor, I will take you to one simple demo. uh, I think we can go with W3 schools demo. So here we have the HTML file body part. We have the h reference is equal to, here it is not mentioning any a link. Instead it will it is taking me to some section 2 where where I have mentioned this section 2 in somewhere below this document. Okay, so that is prefixed by hash section 2 within the quotation, go to section 2. So if I click here, it will take me to the section 2. When when a web page runs when we have a scrollable web content, we can include a link over here. Okay, so this section 2 is linked like this. So okay, it is a h2 heading 2. Its title is section 2, and here h2 has the id is equal to section 2. So this section 2 will be mapped by this section 2. Okay, so if I click here, it will take me to the section 2 of this scrollable web page. Or one more way, using the name attribute. Here it is mentioned h2 as id is equal to section 2, and one more way of linking the same thing using name attribute of anchor element. So the same thing I have copied here, and the first line is same, and here in the second line I am including the that in the anchor element, anchor tag itself. So anchor tag, which has the attribute name is equal to section 2, and this is the link for this section 2, and I am enclosing that within h1, so that section 2 will be displayed in a h1 heading. So let's have a demo on that. Okay, so see here it's running in my browser. So go to section, so it is going inside the section. So if I remove this h1, so this section 2 will be displayed as like a normal font size. Okay, I will show that demo also. I am removing h1 so that section 2 will be displayed in normal size instead of bold. Save it and update. And I think I made a mistake here. See here, section 2. Section 2 is displayed in as usual normal font. Okay, so this is the way there are two ways of anchor tag. One is taking us to the web resource, the other is to take us to the same location where the browser runs with the scrollable web content. We can move to the specified content. And now and lastly, so about nesting elements. So we need to nest, we could nest one HTML element to the other, but the order should be in right way. Okay, that's the nesting of elements. So here teletype tag followed by strong tag and followed by the content HR, and this strong HTML element is the inner element that should be closed first, then followed by the outer HTML. This is the proper way of nesting the HTML elements, where HR is strong and also in monospace font. So, and this is the wrong way. We should not mismatch the order. Okay, it should be in the order. And most HTML elements are either block or inline, as I said earlier. So block is nothing but the browser will automatically generates a new line or a page or a line break, whereas inline means no line breaks will be included. So these are some of the examples for block elements as paragraph headings, pre-formatted text. And for inlines, these are some of the HTML elements that follows the inline category. It means for these HTML elements there will be no automatic line break will be rendered by the browser. And in nesting elements, there is a little note on that. All the children of the body element must be a block element, I mean. So, and inside a block element, some inline elements are allowed. For example, inside the paragraph you can have bold, italic, span, all those are inline elements, you can have it. But inside the inline element you cannot insert a block elements. For example, inside italics you should not make a paragraph elements. So that's the rule of thumb, we need to follow it while nesting the HTML elements. So, and a little last note about close tag and the self closing tags. Closing tag means yes, an open tag will have the close tag in this format, whereas self closing tags will have something like this. Okay, image is a self closing tag and link is a self closing tag, whereas break, horizontal rules, these are some of the self closing tags that don't follow the separate closing tag using that forward slash. And I think I have discussed how to view a page source in the browser. So in the last class itself I have took you the demo of right clicking the browser and going to view page source, and some other options also I have given. If time permits, you go through those things, how to view the source code in 3 different ways I have given it. Okay, and that's it about today's topic, and this is I think you could achieve it very easily for this template. So bring the HTML code. So this is one heading, so whatever the heading you like, you make it, and this is one paragraph followed by an image followed by some text, a paragraph followed by one anchor elements. So for the topics we have discussed includes all the required elements to bring out a template like this, and I think you could come up with a solution. That's it about today's class, and in next class we'll see some more HTML elements like a list, tables, forms, frames. Okay, so till then, bye.